Hello, everybody. I am Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. We started Profound Professionals that's a tongue twister. Try to say that really fast a couple times. We started about 5 years ago, and the whole point of starting Profound you know what? I did it again. And we're live, so we're going to keep going. I am Jessica Koch. This is Profound Professionals. And we started Profound Professionals about 5 years ago. And we did it because I had the opportunity to meet such amazing people from all over the world: CEOs, speakers, authors, coaches, online course developers, just amazing people in their industry who were subject matter experts in something special, but taking it on its head, doing it outside of the box, doing something different and unique with it. But what touched my heart even more was almost all of these people, every single time I met someone inspiring in their industry, was also very, very tied in to a cause or a charity, whether it was their own or something they supported or something else they believed in. And I think when we have an opportunity to lift one another up and edify each other, if we can also bring cause awareness and cause marketing to the forefront, then we are doing something truly profound to impact the world together. So I am Jessica Koch, your host, and I'm super excited today to have a brilliant, a beautiful, amazing, accomplished speaker. Leisa Reid is the founder of Get Speaking Gigs Now, where she coaches speakers on how to get booked and attract clients through speaking. She has personally delivered over 600 speaking engagements. I never counted mine. Wow, that's a whopper of a number, and runs a speakers training academy. Welcome, everyone. Please welcome Leisa Reid.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. So excited to be here and talk about lots of fun stuff today.
Yes, we are. We would love to hear. So, how is it that you stepped on the stage and suddenly decided you'd step on about 600 more times? How did you get going in that journey?
Well, I'll welcome 600 more in my future as well. I started as a speaker probably at a pretty young age. It wasn't until I was 40, though, that I became a professional speaker. And I was given the opportunity to go out and speak about mindset for a personal development company. They hired me to do that, to bring in new clients, business development, but using the act of speaking and educating others. And when they explained the job to me, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like my picture should be in the dictionary for that, right? I've always enjoyed teaching, training, facilitating, no matter what I was in, no matter what industry I was in, it was always, oh, I know how we can teach everyone how to do this really simply, and step, 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 and I'll deliver the training. I'll write the whole thing and no problem. And I'll keep people, retrained on everything. I always really enjoyed that. So I guess it's not really a secret that I ended up becoming a speaker and then now helping other people speak. If they want to speak 600 times too, that'd be great.
Yeah, and it seems like it's growing more and more. People are. I love that in the changes that have happened in the last few years. I think one of the things that's really come from it, or even bloomed at a more accelerated rate, is more online courses are being built than ever before. More books are being published and written by people than ever before. It's almost like they've been empowered to be not afraid to put themselves out there and to try, because that's really what you're doing, whether you're speaking or building a course or a training or a webinar or writing a book. Even you are putting vulnerable pieces of you, even if it's training, out on a page, for the scrutiny of others. And that's a big deal. So what's it like to work with you?
Well, for me, I love working with people who have a gift for teaching or a desire to speak. They've always sort of known that they should be up there. That's a common thing people confess to me. And they just aren't sure how to do it, or like maybe what to edit down with all the things that they have. So when people join the Speakers Training Academy, we actually have a couple of different components that they go through to get the confidence, to get the strategies created, to get their comfort zone levels up. And confidence up. And we start with what I call Get Your Talk Ready to Rock session. That's a 2-hour deep dive with me personally, not anyone else. It's me and you. getting your talk ready to rock, which means we need to come up with the title, the description, the learning points, and your call to action. Where are you leading the audience? And once we have that in place, it's really helps boost your confidence, because then you go, okay, now I'm ready to, what I call, come out of the speaker closet and really shine and ask for those speaking engagements, and start to come up with the strategies of how, okay, now that I've got my message out there, how do I keep getting it out there? How do I get booked on those stages? So they go through a process of we have some group masterminding that we do to keep us all fresh and sharp and exchanging ideas and developing relationships with other speakers. And then we also have some one-on-one time that they'll get with me throughout the course of the academy. And then they also have access to the curriculum, which is my 7 steps of how do you get booked and stay booked for the rest of your career.
So is this an ongoing, does it run 24? I mean, does it run all year long, or does it start and stop? Or like if I decided now, there's a class already going and I missed the boat, like how does this work?
Great question. I personally love open enrollment. I am like, I want you to be able to get started when you're ready to get started, versus no, you have to wait. You just missed it. You can't do it. I'm like, no. We got to get started.
You speak my language.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, I mean, I know how entrepreneurs are. It's like when we're ready, we're ready. We want to jump. We want to get in there and get it done now. So the other piece is that I noticed that speakers are all at a different level. They've got different holes in the bucket. They've got different things that they've already mastered. And so I just say, come in, we'll meet you where you are. We'll fill in whatever holes need to be filled in, and you're going to go along your merry way. So, or you can stay and hang around and keep learning and keep benefiting from the mastermind groups. But I just find that no matter how advanced a speaker is, or what experience you think you've had or have not had, whatever doubts you have, we all have doubts as speakers. I actually call it speaker's kryptonite, where you're like, oh, what if I get it wrong? What if they think I'm stupid? What if I don't know? What if no one wants me? What if, and I need to do more research. I need to figure these things out before I go do X, Y, and Z. So we all have different doubts that keep us, just like what you're saying, whether it's a speaker, whether it's your online course, your book, it is vulnerable to put yourself out there. It does take courage.
It does. It's funny. Our speaking career started similarly, except for I was, wow, I must have been, I was in my probably really early 30s when I was working for a company where I did speaking all over the country for them. They flew me all over. I went to big national conferences, stood up on a stage in front of, I think my largest stage was 5,000. But I mean, I just went up there and did it. And I was so young and so naive that I think I just didn't know enough to be scared. I knew what I was supposed to say. I went up there and did it. I remember once I was at a conference with superintendents of public schools. I mean, a slew of them, many, many, many. It was a national conference. They came from they all have PhDs. They're all doctorates, right? And I'm up there. There's bright lights. There's a teleprompter, and you can only see the first couple rows anyway, because everything is so bright. And I'm on the stage, and I stop, and I was just like, the jokes, this is like, sometimes what I think comes out of my mouth, this is not a good thing, by the way, but I simply said, the joke's on you guys. I'm looking out at a sea of, PhDs, doctorates, like all you have way more education than me. I have a couple of classes in community college. Like that was my level of education. And you guys are all sitting here and came to listen to me, and there was a moment of silence and then a whole lot of laughter. So that could have gone a couple of ways.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't have to have formal degrees to maybe be an expert in something anymore. Right. Or well, not even anymore. We have, I think, a myth that, I don't have enough, education, experience, certifications, what have you. But I think a lot of those times it's just our fear trying to protect us from, being hurt or humiliated or embarrassed or feeling a certain way. But when, like you probably did, you knew somewhere deep down, you knew you could do this. You knew you could get on a stage with 5,000 people and you had the courage to do it, even if you were
I just,
scared or not scared. You're like, whatever, that sounds fun, which is
yeah.
basically what I would have said too. I was like, oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just interesting how we learn and grow. And I think I don't take myself too seriously. And so for me to make a tongue-in-cheek joke and hopefully someone else laughs, so I'm going to at least laugh at me. So that's usually where I go. And maybe that's I think that's connected to nerves for some people too, right? If you're a little bit nervous, you just laugh,
Yeah.
and that happens. But I just enjoy it so much, and I think you make really great relationships too, in that space. So uh, we're all in this together. That's what I like to say. We're not alone. And so when we getting to this part, what are some things that if someone is thinking, wow, speaking would really take my business to the next level, but how do I start? Where do I start? What are some things they could do today that might help them?
Yeah, I would say there's five key components that you need to have no matter where you're going to jump in on the speaking cycle. Um,
Hmm.
and these might seem obvious, but they also, I've noticed that a lot of times people think they're speakers and then I ask them to send me these items and they don't have them. So I'm going to,
Hmm.
just for the record, we're going to say what they are. So number one, of course, you want a professional headshot. It should probably be somewhat recent. Every couple years, if you're going to be a speaker, you need to plan in those photo shoots. Number two, you're going to want a bio, right? Like I submitted a bio for this event
Hmm.
for you because people are going to want to hear who you are, what you're doing. Why should I listen to this person? So,
Hmm.
professional bio in third person. Now, the next three parts, three, four, and five, sorry, I'm running out of fingers here, three, four, and five, are have to do with your talk. And I had mentioned them earlier when I was talking about the Get Your Talk Ready to Rock session. Why
Hmm.
I focus on these is because when people struggle with keeping them with editing down their own experience. So like so many decades and years of experience, how do you narrow it down to one title, one description, some learning points? Well, you have to do that if you're going to be a speaker. You cannot tell the audience every single nook and cranny and strategy that you have. So you need to have a title, a description, and usually three, maybe five, 3 to 5 learning points. Because
Hmm.
when you say that you're going to speak, they're going to ask you, oh, well, what do you speak on? Oh, well, what is the audience going to learn? Can you send that over to me? And you need to be able to have that at your fingertips. You don't want to be writing that because somebody asked you, sending it the night before or something like that. So I just find that
Hmm.
when you have that ready to go to just copy and paste, then your confidence is going to skyrocket.
Did we get all our fingers? Was that all
I'll
five?
do them again just because I kind of switched my fingers. It's always hard with five. So it's like we've got five. Okay, so I'll count down. Five. You want to have your bio. Oh, no, I'll do it in order. Sorry. Your headshot. Okay. Your bio, your title, your description, and your learning points. All
Oh,
those five items.
okay. All right. I love that. I also think, from my experience, it's awesome to have a speaker sheet, in
Oh,
addition to
yeah.
the bio, because those are good. And then um, a gift nowadays, and a gift or an affiliate program setup is not mandatory. You can start without it, but I think it's a good idea to have those things, just because it brings your speaking career along a little further. And then,
There's a lot more things you need. I was just like, those are the
right.
basic ones.
Yeah, those are definitely the basic ones. What's your feeling on a sizzle reel? I know some people say sizzle reel, yes, for speaking engagements. Some people sizzle reel, no, it's not that needed. Well, what are your thoughts on it?
I think this is why I love the Speakers Training Academy because it really does depend on the person, what you have, what your resources are. And I use an example. I was at a networking event one time and I was speaking and a gal came up to me after and she's like, I really love it. I want to be a speaker, but first I need to have a speaker reel. And I thought, well, that would be pretty hard for you to have a speaker reel if you've never actually been a speaker. So this
Right.
is where I'm like, that's why I say it depends.
Mm-hmm.
And it also depends what kind of market you're going after. Some of them are going to be expected. Like if you're going after more corporate
Mhm.
training or conferences, big events, convention style things, you're probably going to be asked for that more often versus if you're more on the speak to sell, which is my lane I love to be in, and really
Mhm.
in the entrepreneurial market. I don't often get asked for that. But here's the thing, Jessica, that I typically like to recommend. If you have any doubt or like hesitation, like, oh, I don't want to put my website out there because I don't have XYZ yet. And if you're thinking about that as a speaker, like if that's keeping you from going for it, then get a speaker reel. Like just do it. And then you have it ready in case someone asks you, or you can use it in your, you can repurpose it. Of course, you can make an email out of it, social media. You're the queen of repurposing, right? So repurpose it a bunch of different ways. But I'm a real fan of you being ready to say yes. And I use a metaphor, which you'll appreciate with all your kids here, of the slip and slide metaphor, which is if you've ever been on a slip and slide, you want it nice and clean and smooth, and you want the hose running, so that it's nice and
Mhm.
slippery, right? You swoosh, slide to the next. If you have any dirt or rocks on the slip and slide, it's not a comfortable experience. Like it's no good. You're not going to slip all the way down to the end. And so I think we want to just get any dirt and rocks off your slip and slide. Like just
Mhm.
you want to slide right through. And if it's a speaker rail that you need, then to feel that way, then let's get it done.
Yeah, I love that answer. Yeah, just, take the steps to do it. And my other opinion too, right along with you is, I wouldn't let it hold you back,
Mhm.
Set a deadline for it, make plans, make a budget for it, schedule doing it, creating it, however you're going to go about it, but keep moving forward and don't let it set you back. So,
Well, and another point to that is now, I mean, if we were having this conversation pre-pandemic, it would have been a different conversation than now. Everyone's used to being on Zoom.
mhm,
You have access to, or, if you're on Be Connected, you have, or StreamYard, you have so many different ways that you can literally create a speaker reel just from your desk, from your office,
mhm,
and recreate it.
mhm,
People want to just see how are you as a speaker. Can you change your fluctuation? And are you
mhm.
funny? Are you serious? Or are you staying on point? Those
Right.
things.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I love that. And don't be afraid of technology because there's always help out there. I'm a big believer in outsource, outsource, outsource.
Right?
I am, even if it's not our agency. Go hire your own person, work with someone because you should not be doing it all yourself. Before we move on to some of the other amazing things we're going to talk about, can you share with us anything else that's going on in your business? Did we cover everything you wanted to touch?
I know that we also run the OC Speakers Network and Lounge, which you're a
Mhm.
big fan of course, and have spoken for our group. We love inviting speakers in to join us. And there's links on my getspeakinggigsnow.com page. So you can check us out there. We meet virtually, which is,
Mhm.
it's just always a great place to be. Put yourself around other speakers. If you're thinking of dipping your toe into the speaker realm, no pressure. Come on, check us out. You don't have to give a speech. Don't worry. Just come and show up, introduce yourself, create some relationships. We always have a lot of really great education there too. So, yeah.
And it's amazing. I love it, and I send lots of people there. Matter of fact, it's in a lot of the signature lines of my a
I
lot of
know.
my emails
Thank
that,
you.
hey, some great things to go to, and I list a bunch, and you're on the top of the list. So, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, one of the big reasons we started Profound Professionals was to feature and highlight so many amazing causes that are out there in the world. Lisa, share with us a cause that's close to your heart.
Yeah, I selected Working Wardrobes, which is locally based here in Orange County, California. And they're really there to help people who have somehow been transition for a job or maybe had some hard times and maybe they get asked to be on an interview or they're trying to find a new job, but they don't have professional clothes, as sometimes situations happen where we've
Mhm.
lost everything we've had. And so they help women and men. They even have a store where you go and you get your whole outfit. Usually, I think they do 3 outfits. Don't hold me to that, but you get a whole shopping experience with clothes and a suit or whatever you would want to wear to interview, a purse, jewelry, the whole thing, and they wrap it up for you just as if you were at a boutique, but it's all gifted to you. So, and then they have interview skills and, things beyond just the outfit, but it did start as professional wear for people in that type of situation. And it's working wardrobes.
I love that. And is that local, physically local to you?
They're physically local in Orange County and they have boutiques here, but you can, of course, go online and contribute. And
Sure,
I don't know how far they reach out these days, but I know the actual clothes are housed,
of
here in
course.
California.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you. We are lucky to have a little extra time with Leisa
Oh,
today. And so I have been asking some of our guests when that's the case because I am crazy about books, audiobooks. I'm big time self-improvement kind of books. But is there a book that has inspired you or helped your business, or you just feel like everybody should read this book, or what's some of the books you love, Leisa?
absolutely. I had grabbed a book earlier, but I feel like I'm being called to share a different one. And it's called It's Not Your Money by Tosha Silver.
Hmm.
And it's something like you, Jessica. I love books and I put them on, the audiobooks. And with this book, I tripled down. I was like, I'm going to get a journal and follow along and write my own notes about it. I'm going to listen to the audiobook, and then I'm also going to get the physical book and highlight and write down and things, because she's got a lot of great meditations. I even recorded some of the meditations, actually all of them, in my own voice. So I have access to them in my own voice whenever I want. And very powerful. I think more and more we're realizing, money is energy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just about the external, but your internal experience of your own wealth and security. And I think that's just a really valuable conversation, especially for any entrepreneur.
I love that. So is it more money mindset and abundance, or is it um, contributing to the world and to the community, or a little of both?
Definitely more your own internal journey. I would say like a soul journey. And she gives just some really powerful ways in which to activate and to. I like books where it's like, okay, I like this, and then now what can I go do about it?
Yes,
So
give me action steps. Give
yeah,
me actions. I love action steps.
learning. Um, and I'll give a different example too for that's not soul based or energy based, but it's also really helpful for business. Did you ever read Profit First by
I
Mike?
know I do. I have that one. And Profit First, didn't he write some other ones? I
Yeah,
love like Clockwork and
there's like a pumpkin one or
I
something,
was gonna say there's a pumpkin one. Yes.
and a toilet paper one, which all sounds like it wouldn't go together, but it's really great for your bookkeeping, which I know doesn't sound like a sexy topic. Trust me, I'm the last person
Needed
who
one right
wants to
now
do
this
one.
time of year. We need to get we always need to get our money in order.
Yes, it's
So
very, very helpful, very useful, and I recommend it all the time.
well, you have to share your book too. Tell us
Oh,
your
oh.
book.
I didn't even notice this back there. No, just kidding. So, yeah, my book is really all about the secrets about booking over 500 speaking engagements, because that's how many I had at the time. I just
Mhm.
launched an audiobook as well, same but audio. And when I first started out as a speaker, my first year I booked 83 gigs in my local area. What I wasn't expecting was everyone to ask me, how did I do that? And so people just kept asking me, other speakers, entrepreneurs were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So it's not just about having the courage to speak, but like, how do you keep doing it? How do you get your
Yeah.
message out there? And that really was why I named my company what it's called, Get Speaking Gigs Now, because it wasn't, how do I be a better speaker? It was like, no, how do I get on the stage? How
Mhm.
do I tell more people? And so I break it down into the 7 key secrets that I use still to this day on getting booked and staying booked for the rest of my career.
That is awesome and wonderful. So, if you are passionate about something or very knowledgeable subject matter expert, an author, coach, speaker, online course developer, or just doing something so unique and different as an industry leader in your industry, and you think, you know what, I should be a guest on Profound Professionals, or you know someone who would just be perfect for this platform, so that we can share with the world their brilliance. One of the things I love about live streaming on multiple platforms and being able to do these kinds of interviews is you just never know who needs to hear what message you share. And you also never know who needed that book to come in their life, or you never know who is going to share this with just the right person, right? So it's just a really exciting, a fascinating opportunity. So reach out, share this with others, let us know if you're the one to be on the next show. But before we say goodbye, we are going to ask Leisa to share one last final farewell words with us. What do you got for us, Leisa? What can you leave us with?
Well, I would say, I think this is the bow on our conversation from earlier, is done is better than perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Get something done. You can always add to it, change it, redirect it, switch it
Mm-hmm.
later, but get started. Do
I
that
love
one
that.
thing.
I love that because perfectionism kept me frozen for a very long time. And I finally had to convince myself that, okay, this is stage one. We're going to do it this way to start. And then I have all these great, big, bold plans for the future, but this is stage one. We're going to start with stage, Apple didn't start with its final product. And I think we're going to
Exactly.
see many more numbers following the current hot topic of now. So, always upgrading, always improving ourselves. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Well, I'm excited that we had Leisa Reid today. Again, I am Jessica Koch, with your host with Profound Professionals. We are amazing individuals and featuring even more amazing individuals who are making a really profound global impact on the world, one person at a time, because we never know what life will touch. So until next time, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Thanks so much. I'm Jessica Koch. Bye, everybody.